What's up, guys? Today's trail tip of the week is all about socks. I'm going to cover 4 things to help you choose the right socks for your next adventure. Let's go. Hey everyone, Greg here with the Highpointers. You could say the more handsome of the Bargo brothers. I mean, I guess you could comment down below, let us know what you think on that. But today we are going to be talking about hiking socks. But first, if you're new to our channel, we do like to cover gear reviews, tips and tricks on how to handle the outdoors. We've covered past adventures. If there's a mountain you're interested in climbing, we may have some footage on it. So just, to give you some planning and preparation for your next adventure. If that's something that interests you, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever we have any new content coming out. So the first thing to think about when looking to buy some hiking socks, probably the most important thing, is the material of the sock. So something we talk a lot about on the channel is cotton. In the outdoors, we say cotton kills, and that goes with socks. You don't want to wear cotton socks when you're out hiking, climbing. Cotton, you get it wet, it doesn't dry. It could be wet from sweat. Maybe you cross a river or a creek and it gets wet, it does not dry, or it takes forever to dry. And if it's cold out, that can potentially lead to hypothermia. Or if it's hot out, I mean, you're just going to get blisters and get rubbed raw. So cotton is not good. But when it comes to socks, a lot of times you'll get a blend of materials, a lot of synthetic materials like polyester, even spandex. Spandex is stretchy. It creates a comfortable material for a sock. But probably the biggest material you'll see in socks nowadays is wool. And a lot of times when I think about wool, you just think like, oh, it's just this hot material, but it's a natural fiber. Obviously, it comes from sheep. I've heard that one sheep can provide 4 to 5 pounds of wool per year. So there's plenty of it. But wool is soft, it's comfortable, it's really good for temperature regulation. So if it's hot outside, it helps wick the moisture away from your feet and prevent blisters. If it's cold outside, the natural fibers actually trap in the air and help insulate your feet so they can keep your feet warm. It kind of sounds like this magic material, but it's true. They make wool for jackets, shirts, clothing, pants, and now socks. So it's been a really popular material. So when you're looking for a sock, look for wool or these kind of blended materials. Don't choose cotton. That's not good. The next thing to think about is the cushioning of the sock. So you have no cushion or a light cushion, you have a mid cushion, and then you have a heavy cushion. These are all things to look at when you're choosing a sock. So no cushion or light cushion obviously doesn't provide a lot of protection, but if you're hiking somewhere where it's hot, it helps keep your feet cool, so your feet aren't going to sweat. But, that'd be good for probably day hiking and maybe running around your neighborhood, but you probably don't want to wear, no cushion or light cushion on a multi-day backpacking trip. It's just probably not enough protection for your feet. So the next thing would be medium cushion, and that's probably the best selling sock on the market because it kind of hits both things. So it provides enough cushion to protect your feet and keep your feet warm if it's cold out, but probably not make your feet too hot if it's hot outside. Now, if you're in the South, Florida or Texas, even a mid cushion could probably heat your feet up too much. So maybe you do want to go with that light cushion. The next one is heavy cushion. So when you think of heavy cushion, it's usually for really cold temperatures outside, something like mountaineering where you're going to wear heavy boots. So you want some ultra cushioning protection from those heavy boots. And if it's going to be really cold outside, negative degrees, you want plenty of cushion there to insulate your feet. So heavy cushion tends to be more for mountaineering or winter camping, winter hiking, that kind of thing. So the third thing is fit. Something that I do with my shoes is I size up my fit, probably by about a half size. So you don't necessarily want to do that with your socks. You want your shoe to be a little bit bigger so that your feet have room to swell and be more comfortable when you're out hiking. But if you do that with your sock, it's probably going to be too big. So you need to figure out what your actual foot size is and then go from there and go with the sock company's sizing guide to figure out the proper size. Usually you want so you got your sock here, you want the heel cuff to fit right on your heel. If it's too long, it's going to bunch up, or if it's too tight, it's going to come down. It's not going to feel very comfortable. So you want it to fit just right so that you don't have a bunch of bunching up and it's not going to feel very good. And that could potentially create blisters as well. The fourth thing is sock height. So there's different heights in socks. You have your no-show, your ankle sock, your crew sock, and a knee-high sock. So the no-show obviously is a sock that's very low cut. You can't really see it when you're wearing it. That provides the least protection around your ankle from your shoe rubbing on your ankle. So it'd be good for something like a trail runner, and when it's hot outside and you're running around the neighborhood or just doing easy day hikes. The next one is the ankle sock. So that's going to cover your ankle bone. And so that's, again, could be worn with a trail runner and provide a little bit more protection for your ankle. The third one is the crew sock, which comes a little bit higher up on your calf, so above the ankle bone. The crew sock is good for if you're wearing a hiking boot, so that the high cuff of the boot is not rubbing your ankle raw. And if you're wearing shorts while you're hiking, it can provide protection from external elements like poison ivy and sticks and plants and overgrowth and things like that when you're out on the trail. And then the fourth one are knee highs. So that's, again, typically for mountaineering or skiing where it's going to be cold out. So the knee high can provide actual warmth, but it can also provide protection from those big burly mountaineering boots. So I'm going to cover some of the brands and styles that we personally use. Now, we're not sponsored by any of these guys. I wish we were, because we cover a lot of miles every year on trails. But probably the first company to think about, and they were probably the first players in the game, is Smart Wool. They use wool materials, but they make really high quality, high durable socks. They make clothing, they make everything that has to do with wool, and it's just really good outdoor gear that they make. So Smart Wool is a good company. Another good one is a company out of Vermont called Darn Tough. They've really hit the sock market hard. Interesting thing about them is, again, good quality, they're really durable, but they have a lifetime guarantee. So if you ever put a hole in one of their socks, they'll give you a repair sock free for life. So technically, if you buy 7 pairs of Darn Tough socks, you'll be set for life. And I've actually bought a pair. It took me years and lots of miles to actually put a tiny hole in it, and I let them know, and they sent me another pair of socks. So that's a pretty awesome company. Obviously, you're going to pay a little bit more price for that, but you get a sock for life. The third one, and these are probably our ultimate go-tos, is Injinji. It's a funny name, and they're funny looking socks, but they are amazing. So the Injinjis are what you've seen as toe socks. So toe socks, each toe fits into an individual sleeve, and the benefit of that is when your toes start rubbing together, they can create blisters. Well, with the toe socks, it's the material rubbing against each other, not the skin on your toes. So it prevents blisters. Now, I've run 100-mile ultra marathons, never taken my socks off, the Injinji toe socks, running through rivers and creeks. They got wet, ran entire 100 miles through the woods and the mountains, no blisters. And so I'm a big proponent of these socks, and I tell people about them all the time, and other people buy them and they swear by them. So there's a ton of companies out there. They all make really good socks. You kind of have to figure out what type of trips are you doing, what type of weather are you going to be in, and find the right sock for you. And let us know down below in the comments, what's your favorite go-to sock? You know, if you are wondering if we've ever worn any specific brand or anything like that, let us know in the comments below. But hopefully this has been helpful, and guess what? We'll see y'all on the next summit.